Hello, tax returns checklist. If you are a business owner and you file your own tax returns, even if somebody is filing it for you, it is a good idea to have a checklist of the different tax returns that you might be required to file for your business. And I have an example here. And for instance, for our business, we have those returns that are due by January 31st, and we are in December. So therefore, it is a good idea, if you have a little time, to pause and jot down the different tax returns that you usually file for your business, and have them in an order that you will need to work on them or gather information and request their file on your behalf. So, and they are not quite in the order I would want them, few of them, but let's go through it. So for this example, I know that because we have an LLC tax as an S corp, we have state unemployment tax return to file, and we have state quality withholding tax return to file as well. And this pretty much I like to organize them by the month. So, and that is just the example here. Next, we have state sales and use tax return. So if you make things to sell or you resell things, depending on the state you live in, you might have state sales tax return to file. So if you have employees or you have an S corp and you have an S corp, you work in it, you are an employee of your own S corp, whether you pay yourself or not, depending on the state you are in, you might have quality withholding state returns to file, and it will be a zero return if you didn't pay yourself during that quarter. You might have to make payment if you pay yourself. So, and you have a withholding. It's not just about paying yourself, but if you withheld a state tax on the payment, yeah, you will remit that to your state. But either way, you might have quality withholding tax return to file for the fourth quarter, and unemployment quality report to file with your state as well. So next, there is a state W2 to file, and there is W2, W3 with SSA to file. So before, in fact, I think I have them in a good order that I wanted. I was more confusing this one with this one, but this is the states. Before I like to submit the W2 and W3 with SSA, I like to draft Form 944 and Form 940 to make sure everything is reconciled properly before, I submit the W2 to SSA, and then I mail Form 944. So Form 944 is employer annual federal tax returns, and if the employment payroll tax that you pay a year to IRS is less than $1,000 or so, they might require you file Form 944. But when it's more than that, you will be required to file Form 941, which is a quality tax return. So if you file Form 941, instead of Form 944 that I have here, you will have Form 941 for quarter 4, the quality employer federal tax return. But then Form 940 is for all of us that has a staff, whether it is just you or somebody else that you're employing. So Form 940 is unemployment tax return that you file with the states is the equivalent of state unemployment tax return here, but this one is quarterly, while the IRS one is annually. And then we have W2 and W3 with Social Security Administration, and I will require you file that. I will recommend you file that online. I think it's easier. And by the way, if you are new, that will be your first year of filing W2 and W3 with Social Security Administration. Will you please make sure you have you attend to access to register with them if you have not done it yet, because you might need to use login, a specific login. You might be required to have a specific login of information to log in. You might either use login.gov or ID.me, and login.gov could take 2 weeks to a month for you to finish that process, and ID.me could take you a day or two. So just keep that in mind. And if you have ID.me that you use with IRS website to make deposits, payroll deposits, I believe that ID.me should be able to work with your Social Security website as well. But it's good to try to make sure you can access your account, and if there is additional requests from them to have some reporting available in your account that they had to mail you the approval and the PIN to enter, it's good to just make sure your account is set for you to be able to do your W2 and W3 reporting by January 31st. And again, giving W2 to the staff members by the end of January as well. To this list though, I like to add few things that not all of you might be required to file, and in this list there might be other things that are not here that you, based on your business model, you might be required to file. So just try to take some time to have a list draft of the different tax returns that you are required to file, and the due date that they are required by. So here I believe I like to add deposits, and deposit here, let's put deposits for form 940, and it'll be, well, let's leave it like that. Deposit for form 944, and here I will add estimated tax payment, and I think I will add 2 of that. And here I will just add states. Excuse me. And this one I'll add IRS. And those are not necessarily, those two are more related to our 1040 in the sense that because we swing trade stocks, we make quarterly estimated tax payment. Therefore, and those I will say January 15 Let's just leave it like that. January 15. In fact, I will just have that for all of those, because again, based on our model, we are monthly depositor. Therefore, our payroll tax deposits are due by the 15th of the following month. Does that make sense? So if I make payment this month, I pay wages this month, then I need to make deposits by the 15th of next month. So therefore, I like to put those there. But again, you can check the tax you are required to file. You can check them to see when they are due and have the list. So to do this list, let's go further down, because you will be due to file a certain tax returns as well. And I'm just going to come down here and use an example. And here we have 1065. So if you file 1065 for your LLC, it is a partnership tax return is due by March 15. So I believe I have it under March. I have them under the month that they are due, and it is pretty much a schedule of mine. At the beginning of the month, I will check to see the month that is starting and things that are due during the month. But if you like to start working on those things ahead of time, you can choose to have those things you like to work on ahead of time in a previous month that you like to start working on them. And then that way you can see it early. Does that make sense? But you can still enter that in the month that they are due as well, so that you do not forget about them. And excuse me. And this is a return that I like to file as well, and that's when it's due. So I put in February, but that's something I would like to work on ahead of time to submit ahead of time. So but at this point, that's how I have those things. I just have them in the back of my mind that they are due, and I can look it up in the month that I put it. Or you can just have them duplicated throughout the months that you like to start working on it, all the way to the month that they are due. It's up to you. You can try and see which option works better for you to help you stay on task and meet your important deadline. But 1065 is due by March 15. And if you file Form 1120S for S Corp or LLC tax as an S Corp, is due by March 15 as well. And when you have those tax return, you have key one to give to the members of the business, and those pretty much they are due as well. And I didn't put any deadline here, but there is a deadline to them as well, and probably that March 15 or so, I'm not sure. So but it will be in the form, in the instruction for Form 1120S or instruction for Form 1065 to add those. But just know that by the time I'm filing Form 1120S or 1065, I will have, those file as well, because you file them with those forms. Therefore, you'll be able to have a copy print out to hand out to the members. But having it there just tells you that those are due as well. And depending on the state you live in, you might have more report to file with your state to renew your LLC or your entity, and just follow that schedule. For us, if it is not every year we do that. So when we go to April, you'll have your 1040 to file. So you'll have 1040 to file. And if you are a sole proprietor, you file a Schedule C, or you are a one member LLC that file Schedule C, then you'll file Schedule C with your Form 1040. So 1040 is due by April 15. So, but this just gives you a list of those tax returns that are due during the first quarter of the year. And if we go back to April though, there is the quarterly returns that are due in April as well. If I can find them. You have quarterly returns that are due as well, but for right now we are focusing on returns that are due at the beginning of the year, during the first quarter of the year. Just have them draft in the order you like to work on them, and just check as you completed them. Just check so that you have everything done, so that way the one you work on, you know that you already work on it. The reason why I have blue here is probably because as I was working on some of them last year, I was pretty much changing the color to know that those are already filed, to know the one that I need to work on, and so forth. But this is just to check with you, share with you, an example of tax return checklist that as an employer we should have to help us not forgetting something or letting a return fall within the cracks, but be able to file them all and file them all on time. Thank you. We thank you very much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for your time, and we thank you very much for all of your comments. We thank you very much all that subscribe to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in soap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And as a business owner, you have responsibilities. You have returns to file with your government, whether it is the states or federal or both. Just make sure you meet those deadlines so that they do not cause you anxiety. Start early so that you're on top of those. You can free your mind to focus on your business during the year. And some of them, when you are filing them and they are not easy to file, you can create a manual, for the steps you are doing. Use a screen capture to capture your steps and save that manual, so that next time you are filing it again, you have your manual to follow. Even if to access some step, for instance, steps to go pay the estimated tax. If it's not easy for you to locate those buttons, make screenshot of your steps and write them down in a Word document and save it, so that next time you have your document open, you just follow it step by step to get to where you want to get on the whatever website you are visiting, and get your things down there and log out. Alternatively, you can have a video software open if you have one. Right now I'm using OBS, and OBS to do the screen recording. You can use it to do a screen recording of your processes and save it as a manual for your business, so that next time you are going to file a return again, you know the steps you took. You can just use your manual to guide you in areas that seems confusing, or you don't know your way to access whatever you are trying to access. And that is a process you can even use in your business during in production, in your production department and so forth. But that's just a tip. I really like to have my manual written so that I don't spend time trying to remember what I need to do on certain things. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. And again, if you can start ahead of time, it might be a good idea to start ahead of time. But I know it is December and you could be busy with your business, with sales. But just keep your returns in the back of your mind to start working on it when you can. Thank you. And some of those forms can be filed electronically as well. Just choose the route that you are comfortable using. And remember, if you are monthly depositor of your of your payroll returns, make sure to get them done as well. Thank you.